Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of Unmuted with Allegra of Havana's 13. I'm so excited today because this isn't going to be a show about jumping into a heavy topic. Not yet, those will be coming. But this is about introducing you to the woman behind the show, the badass that is coming to you with amazing episodes here in the near future. So, over the coming weeks, we're going to have conversations about confidence, femininity, self expression, healing, creativity, and learning how to stop shrinking ourselves for everyone else, right? So, but before we get into all of that, I want you to meet Miss Allegra Havana as I bring her on. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, so good to see you.
I'm so excited to have you here. So, before we get into diving in about your show, why don't we start by just a simple question of who is Allegra?
So, Allegra is an ever evolving soul, a woman that has been on a journey, as many of us have. I am a mother, a daughter, a business owner. I also am a woman who is very proud to be a Latina, proud of my culture, proud of my heritage. I was raised in northern New Mexico, and it's something that I'm very proud of. I'm proud of the food. I'm proud of the culture that I grew up, everything. I am someone who is a survivor and a warrior. That's how I would describe myself. I am a person who has overcome childhood trauma, narcissistic abuse, and illness. And my passion and my goal and purpose in this lifetime, I wasn't aware of it until I had to go through some of the things that I went through, but it's to help others who feel misunderstood, who feel unheard, who feel judged, and who feel alone out there.
I love
So
that. I love that,
thank
and I've
you.
I've known you for several years now. We've been close for several years, so knowing that you speak to the people that feel misunderstood, that feel judged, that just kind of aren't accepted as they are. That brings me to the question of what do people usually assume about you that
Oh
isn't
my
actually
goodness.
that isn't
Wow.
actually true? Let's dive into that one.
Well, we have time, so let's unwrap this.
Yeah.
So, I am assumed to be many times abrasive. I've been told I was stuck up. I've been told that I was harsh. Let's see what else. I've also, been told that I was too emotional, too this, too that, too loud, too bold, too overbearing. Um, and it's really interesting to me because once you get to know me, I'm just a really big softie. I mean, I really am. And I know I've had people that have told me once you can get to me, because I do carry a guard around myself as a childhood trauma survivor and someone that has dealt with mental health. I have those issues that I deal with, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think that anyone out there listening today that has been through something similar knows that when we have been through things, our guard goes up, and my guard certainly is up. And I talk a lot about protecting my peace. And sometimes that involves once someone shows me who they are, it's time to take them to the dumpster for myself, right? Because I don't want anyone around me that does not have good intentions, that does not have love for me, that does not reciprocate. Those are all huge things for me. So, as far as being misunderstood, yes, there's a lot of things that people misunderstand about me. They think that I'm this or I'm that. They label you, especially when you're a woman that doesn't seek validation. When I was younger, I sought so much validation, right? Does this look nice? Do I look nice? Does he think it looks nice? Does she think it looks nice? Am I worthy enough to be sitting at this table? And when you reach the point, which I feel I'm in that era right now, of not needing validation, many times people will throw judgments upon you based on their own insecurities.
Yes. Yes. And I love that you bring that up, because that's kind of how we met. I just, want to say that I had my guard up, you had your guard up, but we kind of knew, like, I don't know, there's always a connection. So that's years and years and years of just kind of coping and self-protection. So when you think of Unmuted and you think of this global reach that you are now going to have, and being able to use your voice, when did you first realize that you wanted to create something bigger than just yourself, like right here? When did you decide that, oh my gosh, what I have to say, my experiences and the things that I've been through, the world needs to hear that? Was there a defining moment, or did it kind of happen gradually?
I would say definitely within the last 2 to 3 years. When I started my business, Havana's 13, I approached it as a regular business, as many people out there approach businesses, right? As, okay, I'm here, I have to make some money. I want to make this work, and, I need to have a way to make a living. But then when I realized, and I believe that a business is definitely a reflection of ourselves and our growth. So as we grow and change, as I have, suddenly it went about more than compensation and actually impacting others. Because what I found out is that the more that I shared my truth, the more that I got rid of my shame and my self judgment, because I did carry self judgment, and many of us do. That's why we judge others. I realized that there were so many people out there that were actually dealing with the same thing that I was dealing with. And the more that I broke down my walls and my barriers and my shame and my conditioning and programming, which is what I talk about a lot, from birth, we're brought out of the womb, we're smacked, right? We're in a comfy place. All of a sudden we get out, the doctor smacks us on the bottom. Rude awakening. Welcome to the world, bitch. And it's like, from that moment on, we get to be told how we should show up, who we should be, who we should date, if we should date. And if we don't do this, my goodness, you better sit in the corner for 5 minutes because you're a bad girl. And so what I really realized was that so many women out there are actually struggling with these issues. And when I realized I wasn't alone, that it wasn't just me, because a lot of my lifetime, right, I feel like so much of my lifetime, due to my trauma, I felt like I was such a freak, right? Because at 12 years old, my brother passed away. So suddenly I had these deep emotions that I had no clue what to do with them, right? So all of a sudden, you try to talk to people about it, they change the subject, or they tell you, oh, it's okay, let him rest in peace, God's got you. That's great and all. I believe in that as well. But my goodness, these are things that we have to talk about as a society, especially if we want to heal, if we want to grow, if we want to evolve. We can't just carry this shame and this self-judgment and this anger with us for years, because when we do that, it turns into self-harm, self-hate, self-damage, and in turn, globally, what that creates is a situation that we're in right now, where we have people that hate each other simply for existing. Yeah. And let me tell you, that's not it. That is not the business at all.
No. And I love that, in your work with Havana's 13, because I've been able to witness the evolvement of it and how It's moved so much into the self-love, as you have grown and brought these things to make women feel beautiful, but it's from inside out. So building that confidence, um, knowing that you weren't always confident, you didn't always feel that confidence. What would you say, like is the process behind the scenes? Is there anything that you can share that you've already gone through that's been a process behind the scenes to kind of build that confidence up, and that's why you're here to share it today? Or is it something that's going to be a forever process?
Well, first of all, I do believe that confidence is a forever process, but there's a song that I like to refer to in regard to what that process was, and it's by Britney Spears, and it's called You Gotta Work, Bitch. And basically,
I
you
never
gotta
heard that
work.
one. I need to hear that one.
You gotta work, right? You can't just be sitting down. And that's where I find many people fail, is because they get into this victimhood and this mentality that life has screwed them over. Everyone sucks and poor them. They've been dealt all these circumstances, so they're going to sit themselves in the corner now and punish themselves, right? So for me, the process was an absolutely grueling one. It fucking sucked. It meant that now I had to become accountable for the bullshit that I created in my life, because so many times, we find ourselves in circumstances and in places and in situations, and we just assume that, oh my gosh, the world is against me, gosh, everyone hates me and life sucks. And like I said, for me, it's a process. It's taking care of yourself, body, mind, and soul. And it's something that I'm committed to till the rest of my life. I find it interesting that sometimes I'll speak to people and they're, about my self-love club, and I'll ask them, if they would like to become a member, and they're like, "Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I love myself. My life is great. Everyone loves me." And let's face it, that's kind of what I think is going on right now, is that so many people are not authentic with themselves, not authentic with their relationships, not authentic with the circumstances that they find themselves in. And what happens when we do that is that we're putting everything externally, right? So the process for me was a matter of getting sick and tired of being sick and tired in the pile of shit that I sat in. And I'm going to be honest with you, there was a time that I actually enjoyed the attention that I got from my dysfunction, because that was the only way that I knew how to get love and receive love, was through my dysfunction. And through that process, I had to stand up. And it also involved me getting involved in many communities, like the community of Unleash You with Michael Faber, where I met you. And you have become, I don't even have words to describe what you have become for me. I'm getting a little teary, but it's amazing what happens when you surround yourself with people that understand you, that don't live in a facade, that are working on themselves, that are working on growing, that realize that they're not perfect and maybe they will never be. But guess what? They're there and they're showing up. So for me, community was huge. For me, personal accountability was huge. Asking myself, you want to lose weight. What are you doing to lose weight? Are you sitting on your ass and eating 10 gorditas? Because if you are, bitch, you're going to be a gordita. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
literally, it's taking personal accountability for where you are, and also giving yourself grace and giving yourself, it's not all being a hard ass about it. It's giving yourself grace. And that's what I learned, because I used to be really hard on myself, and I used to be really hard on the people around me. So as I'm growing and I'm changing, I'm realizing that part of self-love in this evolution is actually giving grace to people, because we're not all perfect. We're all growing, we're all changing. And for me, as long as people that I surround myself with are willing to take accountability and willing to have conversations and willing to resolve issues, I'm all about it. It's the people that take no responsibility, that want to have nothing to do with any type of growth, that I have no use for. I
Mm-hmm.
hate to put it that way, but I really don't. I've lived my life in survival for so long that I have no use for that. And I know that people that may have not gone through the things that I go through may see me and be like, wow, she's really harsh, man. She just cut that person off like that. Yes, I did. And yes, I will continue to, because that's my choice. It's my world, and I get to choose who I allow into it.
I love that. Excuse me. And I think when you've been through certain things, you you understand how important that is to protect your space. I'm the same way, where it's just very easy to like, done, gotta move on. No drama, no chaos, no none of that. So
Yes.
I have one more question for you. Excuse me. Before we get into talking about your show, I just want people to get to know a little bit about you. What would be something that we see, like, I'm just going to say it, lifting up another queen over here. You're absolutely gorgeous. Like, you are just beautiful, but it's not only external, it's because it radiates from within, but you do carry a power, you carry an energy, and I think that's what can gravitate people towards you or repel them. Like, it
Yes,
does one or the other, right? But
absolutely.
what would surprise people? Like, what is something that you can share that gives us a little behind the scenes look at Allegra that would surprise us?
Maybe what would surprise people, as I mentioned before, is I'm a really big softie. I have a huge heart. I love animals. I love nature. I love everything that God created, including crystals. I absolutely love the people that are in my life. I love my family. I love my friends. I'm a very giving person. I have a huge heart
Mhm.
that is something that has at times been my strength and my weakness. And that's why I guard my heart dearly. I'm also very much a tomboy. So sitting here in this outfit right now is pretty weird to me because, yeah, it's all right. It looks good. I agree. Right. It looks cool. But for me, you can find me the most comfortable working on stuff in my yard, working on stuff on my house, working on vehicles, whatever it takes. I'm a very much a tomboy, and I prefer to be someone that is just comfortable. So if you told me, okay, would you choose what you're wearing today or choose comfort? And I would be like, let's go to the gym and get some workout clothes on. I'm a workout fanatic. That's something that is a huge part of my life. When I was younger, I put my effort into other things. And as I got older, working out saved me, working out saved my life. So
I love
that's
that.
something that I'm a huge fan of. All
I love
things positive, and I love the metaphysical. I love everything related to that. I'm also a card reader. That's something that maybe people don't know about. I don't do like the traditional tarot, but I have like angel cards. I have different cards that I read for myself. And eventually, that is something that I would like to get into. I'm also a very intuitive person, and I'm an empath, so I can read people like crazy without them even saying a word. Just me being in a room with them, I know everything about their energy, and that is such a gift for me. And that's not something that I use externally right now. It's just a gift that I keep for myself.
I love that. And one of the other things, folks, that you need to know is she's a freaking hilarious woman. She makes me laugh all the time. We tried to get through a call, and we can't without cracking our shit up. So I just want people to know that you are so funny, and
Thank
it
you.
just drops. It just drops at the most random times. That's why it's so funny. So okay, so let's talk about Unmuted. All right. Because we're here to kind of introduce your show that's been in the making and concept form for quite a while, and now it's time. Now it's coming out. Why the name Unmuted?
So, unmuted is symbolic to me because so much of my life I couldn't express myself. I was muted. I allowed the outside world and people who misunderstood me to mute me. I allowed them to take my voice and to take my power because I wanted to be accepted. So, the word unmuted is actually a tribute to anyone out there that can relate to that, anyone out there that has so much to say, but maybe doesn't know how to say it. Maybe it's a touchy, controversial topic and they're afraid to say it. Maybe they just don't have the confidence to express themselves and their thoughts and their opinions. I know that when we do express ourselves, usually it's the people that are, let's talk about a sporting event. Usually it's the people in the sporting event, the spectators that have the most to say, right? Mm-hmm. But it's the people on the field that are running the game that are actually in the game. And that's what I found with becoming unmuted is that you'll always have people that are spectators that have so much to say about what you're saying, but they never really can put on a jersey and get in the field and be out there and do what they have to do. So unmuted to me is dedicated to anyone out there who feels like their story has to be heard, like their voice has to be heard, like life made them shut themselves down, body, mind, and soul.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's powerful. So, what would you say, women and even men? But I know you primarily, work with women, but you do work with men. But what would you say they are staying most quiet about these days?
Oh my goodness. I think most people are staying quiet about things from relationship issues, things from self esteem issues, things about mental health. I mean, let's just look at this. Let's just take my state, for example, right? And this is the reason why I have such a passion about sharing people's voices because we have such a high drug use in this state right now. And culturally, in my culture, it is a shame when you speak about your mental health. It is a shame when you talk about your problems. And one of the words that they use, which I find is hilarious, is, oh my gosh, ¿qué va a decir la gente? What are they going to say about you? You just talked about your mental health. And it's like now from this side of it, I think it's absolutely fucking hilarious because why should we not talk about our mental health? Mental health is as important as physical health, right? Yeah. And me, because I felt like such a freak, and sometimes people try to make me feel that way too when I express, what I've been through, what I deal with. But let's face it, I mean, mental health is just as important as physical health, the relationships that we deal with. And being in the fitness industry, I am a fitness instructor and have been for 9 years. What I see is that people focus a lot on this, right? They focus on their tempo and getting beautiful and getting their arms all buff and, oh, yeah, I'm the man, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm the woman. But at the end of the day, are you happy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is your mental health okay? Is your relationship okay? Is your family okay? Do the people around you want to see you win? And that is something that is huge to me. Are those things that we have to talk about? And why do people turn to substances? Why do people turn to horrible relationships? Why do people turn to horrible circumstances? Because they don't feel heard, because they don't feel loved, because they don't feel appreciated. That's why they turn to those things. And for me, I'm sick and tired of seeing people that are beautiful, beautiful people fall to stupid shit like drugs, like horrible relationships, like people around them that want to destroy them.
Yeah.
And
so what kind of conversations are you going to be bringing to your screen?
So for me, I'm going to bring conversations about mental health. I'm going to be bringing conversations about body image. I'm going to be bringing conversations about relationships. I'm going to be bringing conversations about protecting your peace. I'm going to be bringing conversations about beauty, about health, about wellness, about raising your vibration, about healing tools that are natural, that you don't have to pay a dime for, that are outside right now, that are free to you and I because they were created by our great God for us to use, for us to progress, for us to heal, for us to thrive, and for us to impact those around us with love and kindness.
Yes, yes. And what is your hope for the viewer as they tune in, whether they watch you live, whether they catch a replay down the way, whether they find your whole playlist and like binge watch you in like one sitting? Like, what is your hope for the people that watch, of how do you want them to feel after watching your show?
How I really want them to feel is like, man, I'm understood. Man, I'm not the only one. You know what? That information was absolutely amazing. I think I'm going to try that today. To be exposed to things that maybe they never have seen before, to educate them on things that maybe they have had opinion about, a negative opinion about, to show them a different way about therapy, to show them a different way about mental health, to show them, most of all, that it's okay to be a human being having an experience on this earth, and it's okay to have emotions, it's okay to feel, it's okay to struggle, and it's okay to want to be better, to want to do better, to want to see the people around you do better, and to raise others around them as they watch this show and they learn things, to share this information with their tio or with their tia or with their cousin, that may be struggling with something. I want people to know that there's always a brighter day, and that their experience that they have gone through does not define them. It's not their final destination. It's just a point in their story.
Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. And you're also going to be bringing a fun element to some of these great conversations. When you even talk about like body image, and even how you're wearing a dress. I think you were talking about a photo shoot, and you're like, I'm supposed to wear what? Like it's making you step out into things. So you've got things like you got guests coming on, you've got people talking about confidence, beauty, style, giving people behind the scenes looks at things. Like, kind of tell us, you know, with all the things that you have going on, because you are a model, you do photo shoots, you do have your company, you do a lot of things. And so the unique way that you're bringing that behind the screen, just kind of give a glimpse of, one time it might be beauty, one time it might be like crystals, another time it might just be like, hey bitch, I'm talking to you. Like, just kind of give people an idea of what they should look forward to.
So I have a very artistic, creative side that I was blessed with, and I tend to see things outside of the box. I tend to love things eccentric and different and unusual. Those are where I find the biggest joy. So for this show, yes, we are going to be talking about all things beauty, about simple things like, I forgot to mention, I am a licensed cosmetologist. I've been licensed for 20 years. So beauty, fashion, adornment of your temple has always been something that I have taken so much pride in. And it's something that I feel like many times people don't know how to do it, or maybe they feel weird doing it because, let's see, Cosmopolitan 2002 said, okay, today's trend is, let's see, let me check this out. Today's trend is blue eyeliner, right? So every woman goes out there and buys the best blue eyeliner, right? Like, oh my gosh, I need to wear blue eyeliner because Cosmopolitan said I would be beautiful. And to me, that's just hilarious now, right? Because I used to be that girl, and it's great. If you want to follow trends, that's cool too. But this show is going to be fun. It's going to be a place where you can come and learn new things. You can learn new outfits. You can learn that you don't always have to follow a script, and you don't always have to follow what everyone out there is doing. And I think what makes people the most beautiful and amazing is when they don't do that, when they own their individuality and they are creative with themselves. So I love to do things. I'm also an artist. So I bet you didn't know that about me. I love to do like woodwork in my spare time. So I'll make jewelry boxes. So we're going to be talking a little bit about art, how to do stuff like that. We're going to be talking about makeup. We're going to be talking about fashion, right? Like what good looks good with this or what looks good with that. And it's not Cosmopolitan magazine style. It's Havana's 13 style, which basically means be yourself, wear the dress, wear the shorts,
Yes. Yes, because
wear whatever
you
it
look
is.
you look the best when you're in what you love, regardless. You could pick that perfect outfit that's on a mannequin because it's like the top seller and feel so uncomfortable the whole time, right? And people pick up on that
Exactly.
stuff. So,
Exactly. And it's amazing. People think that you have to spend so much money to look amazing and that you have to do X, Y, and Z in order to fit underneath a certain criteria. But for me, as a breast implant illness survivor, I started to change my approach to beauty and to what looking good was to me. And I started doing all things natural. So for me, beauty starts with what you consume, first of all, right? Like if we're out here going and getting facials and doing all this stuff, but we're eating crap, it's going to show on your face, honey. It's going to be like right there. So when we clean up our act and we clean up toxins from our life and we clean up even, harmful substances and situations. And, I see people that will go to the gym for 4 hours, they'll get out and they'll go eat a Big Mac. Like, it doesn't work that way.
it
You know what I'm
doesn't work
saying?
that
Like,
way. Yeah,
it's
that's
cool
funny.
to treat yourself once in a while if that's what you find appealing, but it's really just nurturing yourself. And nourishment starts inside your body. So I'm going to have guest experts that are going to be speaking about nutrition, about health, about how to consume supplements that actually make a difference in your physical appearance. I'm almost 50 years old and I don't feel like I look 50 years old. I don't do any type of enhancements. I am not a Botox user. I don't do lip injections. I do everything natural. I take a various amount of supplements that I have learned throughout my years that have helped me grow. And I'm so happy to share those with other people because a lot of us, I don't have a budget that I could go to a surgeon every month. I would love
Yeah.
to, but not really. I wouldn't. That
Right.
was a joke. But it's
Yeah.
like so many times the other part is showing outfits, right? I'm going to have fashion on this show. I'm going to have outfits and show you that you don't need to have a million dresses that are Gucci, Louis Vuitton, whatever it is that's out there. You can actually take a few outfits, add a few accessories, and create a whole new look. And many times people think, that you have to go through all this expense to show up beautiful and to be beautiful. I also have a thrift store that I just started online, Havana's 13 thrift store. That's brand new. And that's created for the woman that is working, that is raising children, that has responsibilities, that, doesn't want to spend $6,000 on a purse,
Yeah.
but might spend $100 and get 15 amazing outfits. For me, it just makes sense. It just
Yeah.
makes sense. It just makes financial sense. So, showing people that there's different options, that you don't have to spend a fortune to look good. So, that means putting color combos together. I also have people, you mentioned the modeling. My cousin Carla Lorraine is the one that introduced me to modeling. I started doing photos, and I have people like her that are absolutely amazing, right? We talked about this earlier. When you have people around you that teach you, that help you grow, that send you stuff. This girl sends me like 40 outfits a month, probably. That's like, hey, check this out, or check this out, or check that out. And for me, I absolutely love that because it allows me to grow. It allows me to expand who I've been and how I've shown up in the world. And for me, it's just great that we help each other out. So we're going to have experts like her that are going to talk to us about color combos, how to put outfits together, how to dress, right? Because that's one thing that I've learned is that in my time of doing cosmetology, when I was younger, I was a makeup artist for Redken. I used to do people in the salon, their makeup for events. And many women don't know about that, right? Many women don't know about how to do that. And instead of wanting to do that or learn about it, they just say, oh, that's too hard for me,
Mhm.
So basically taking some effort to put some time into your appearance, because when you do, wow, like I don't do this for you guys. I hate to say that, but I don't do it for you. I do it because when I walk past that mirror, I say, dang, girl, you're looking good today. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
Yeah.
like a whole thing that it's power when you look good, you feel amazing.
And you bring up an excellent point that it's not for other people. It's for yourself. You can have people tell you a million times, "Oh my God, you look great. Oh my God, you're perfect. Oh my God." But if you don't feel it for yourself, like do it for yourself, right? So let's talk about your next show that is going to be coming out because we cover, you brought some guests on with you in the show that we'll be releasing here soon. You talked about pinup, you talk about your cherry collection, photo shoots, and things like that. So, what can you share for those that are watching now about that episode so they can come back and check it out? Like maybe things that we don't know about pinup or assumptions that maybe are going to be cleared up for us, like in that episode.
Oh my goodness, this next episode is going to be absolutely amazing. I had so much fun making that episode. And in this episode, you're going to get to meet pinup model, and you're going to get to meet a photographer. You're going to get to meet Miss Carla Lorraine, who is a pinup model. She has been a model for about 10 years, and she's absolutely amazing at what she does. You're going to get to meet another amazing woman, Melinda Martinez, who has Melinda Martinez Photography. She's going to get to show you a behind the scenes look at what these photo shoots look like. Sometimes when you're not in the process and you're not involved in the process, and I feel like that happens even like with healing, like we talked about it, right? One day we see someone sad and the next day we see someone happy, and it's like, oh my gosh, how did you do that? You're so lucky, right? No. So these photo shoots and these pinup models and these photographers actually put so many hours into their craft and what they do, and learning about it and learning different hairstyles and learning different ways to photograph people. I have so much respect and admiration for the pinup community after being introduced to it, because you might see a before and after picture of a model, but what you don't see is the time and the preparation and the planning. Some of these photo shoots that we do, let's say we have one in June or July, we started planning in March.
Mhm.
And it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of organization, it takes a lot of commitment, it takes a lot of knowledge, it takes a lot of dedication, and it takes a lot of just showing up and being willing to be seen and being willing to not know what you're doing. In my case, right? Like my first photo shoot, I had no clue what I was doing. We're going to talk about that in the episode. We're also going to talk to people about pinup culture and how there's many stereotypes about that, right? People have their own stereotypes about pinup culture. Sometimes when we think of pinup culture, we think of a woman in a sexy little lingerie or something like that, right? Well, there's more to pinup culture. There's different styles of pinup culture. There's rockabilly, there's retro, there's all kinds, vintage, So what I love about pinup culture, as I mentioned before, is I am such an artistic, creative person. And for me, that just fed that side of me. So you're going to get to see a behind the scenes look at what actually happens on one of these photo shoots and what it takes to actually be published in a magazine. We're going to talk about the work that it takes, the sisterhood that it takes, the support that you need around you in order to be successful. And I know many of us Wonder Women out there think that we can do everything alone, right? But take a photo shoot, for instance. There's no way that you can make a photo shoot happen by yourself. You need community. You need people that are teaching you, that are uplifting you, that are helping you become your best self. So those are a
Yes.
lot of the things that we'll be talking about. We'll also be talking about the cherry collection, which I have behind me right now. And this cherry collection is actually dedicated to the pinup models out there, because what I love about the pinup culture is that you don't have to be a size 2. You don't have to be 6 foot. You don't have to be 20 years old. You can just be yourself. And the pinup collection by Havana's 13 was actually created to honor women all over that are tired of apologizing, that are tired of fitting into molds, that are tired of being told, oh my gosh, you can't wear makeup over 40 years old because Cosmopolitan said so, girl.
Right, right. And I loved
Yes.
seeing, I love seeing the, just even how you say you don't have to be 6 feet, 6 feet tall. You don't have to be, this, like I'm under 5 feet. I call myself short and stout, right? And that's just my size. But it's like, in watching you discuss and share this pinup style, and it is every shape, size, height, like all of it, and that's just beautiful. Your cherry collection, how did the cherry collection begin? Like, how did you say, like, oh my gosh, this is the collection that we're going to go all in on? And then I'm sure you have something on the horizon for Havana's 13 coming this fall. But tell us, how did the cherry collection begin?
So the cherry collection was actually inspired because once I got to know the pinup community through Carla Lorraine, I got to see that the cherries is a very big theme in pinup. It's actually something that a lot of pinup models will wear. And if you go through pinup magazines, you will definitely see cherries on a lot of the outfits. You'll see cherries on a lot of the jewelry and accessories. And so for me, the cherry collection was something that just represents pinup culture and the beauty that is one size does not fit all. So it's kind of a tribute to that. I wasn't aware that the cherry collection was something that was very common and very well known and used in the pinup community, but it actually is. And it's something that I thought, wow, that's really cute. A cherry, right? Because, and also, the message is, let's take a sundae, a nice hot fudge sundae, right? And we have all this ice cream and on cheat day, whatever you want to call it. And we have all this chocolate fudge and we have these nice sprinkles on top. And then what do we put on top? We put the cherry on top, right? And this is just reminding women out there that regardless of what you have, regardless of whatever is in your life, you, girl, are the cherry on top. And I want women out there to remember that every single day as a symbol of why we created and we have the pinup collection at Havana's 13.
I love that. I love that. And so, just out of curiosity, like on some of your shows, will you be showing items that you have, like maybe new items or new collections that you're going to be bringing to your shop of Havana's 13? Or is that going to be like separate? Are you going to merge it, or is it going to be separate?
I am eventually going to merge it. Yes, that's the goal so that we can actually show styling tips, because I know, and I've seen this a lot. I am a single woman, but I have seen it a lot, especially with married women. I have been in relationships a lot. And what I've seen is sometimes women become complacent, right? Like they're like, oh, he loves me. So I'm just, going to wear this. And what the goal is to show you that you can still be in a relationship and you can be loved and you can still adorn yourself. You can still take care of yourself, and your partner, I bet, will appreciate that greatly. And so showing women, right, putting the collection with an outfit like I have today. Today I have a dress that I have a belt right here. One thing that I learned working with my body type is that if I don't have a belt, or if I have a t-shirt that's kind of big like that, you'll just think that I'm very boxy, but I actually have a very small waist. So learning how to add the collection to enhance what you currently have rather than hide it, right?
Mm.
Rather than hide that, rather than mute it. We're going to come here with this collection and the following collections, and we're going to unmute you and help you be proud of who you are and how you were made.
I love that. And so, do you have an actual dream photo shoot?
Oh my goodness, I actually do. My dream photo shoot would be back home where I was born, in the mountains of Mora, New Mexico. And it would be some place that not only showcases the natural beauty of that location, but also showcases a woman that can be natural and herself. The way that I would picture this would be more muted makeup, right? Something a
Mm-hmm.
little more natural with some jewelry that would accent that, perhaps the crystal jewelry that I have. And I would love to do one for every season,
Mm-hmm.
because as we know, we all change, we all have our different seasons. I feel that would be a great representation of women and the seasons that we go through. Sometimes we're in winter, sometimes we're in summer, sometimes we're in spring, and sometimes we're in fall. So just to showcase that as a representation, that sometimes in the winter, in the mountains, you're going to have snow, you're going to have a lot of cold weather, right? In the summer, you're going to have all this beauty and all these trees that are just flourishing. It's hot, it's beautiful. So sort of match the season to the outfit, and the just the energy of that, I feel would be absolutely amazing. That's goals.
That will be. I'm going to say that will be because I know you,
Yes.
and it will happen. So as we start to wrap up, what is one last thing that, because I do still have one more question for you, but what is something that you want to make sure that people hear from you today?
I just want whoever's out there that might be struggling with self confidence or self worth to let you know that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. You can come out of that. You can become more confident. You can become stronger. You can become independent, but it's going to take some work. And until you're willing to do that work and show up for yourself before you show up for everyone else that you're trying to impress, you're probably not going to see results.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And now the final question. What does living unmuted mean to you?
Oh my gosh, that brings me excitement. It brings me joy. It brings me freedom. It brings me passion. That to me means that I'm no longer bound by the chains that once held me down. It's like, wow, what a celebration, what joy, what freedom, what anticipation of what's to come. Because when we're muted, we really carry a lot with ourselves. We carry a lot on our back. We carry a lot in our heart. We carry a lot in our soul. Unmuted to me means letting go of all that no longer serves you, and being willing to be heard. Because in order to be heard, you have to be brave. You have to show up. You have to have courage. You have to do things that you have no clue what you're doing. All you know is you're going to do it. Sort of like me showing up on this show today. I had no clue what I was going to do, but I showed up and I did it. And I feel absolutely amazing. So when we can become unmuted, we can encourage the people to become unmuted around us. We can encourage more love. We can encourage more positivity. We can encourage more joy and less judgment. We can encourage a life full of abundance and manifestation. And I want that for all of you out there.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I want to say, I thank you for saying that, like, showing up and not really knowing, what's going on, but you trusted me, right? And
Yes.
I just want to share that for the people that are also watching, having a show and no matter what your topic or no matter what, message you're here to share, it can be scary. It can be scary because you are putting yourself out there. And of course, people have opinions and people have this and people have that, but your people need you. Your people need to see you and hear you and know that there's a place that they can connect to. And I hope that that's what I bring through Prospera Live is that environment. And so thank you for saying that. Like you were kind of scared to come on here, but you still did it. So that's
Yes.
what it's about. That's totally what it's about. So I do want to share for those that are watching, number one, thanks for showing up and tuning in today. This is pretty much the intro episode for Unmuted as we prepare to bring the first episode that Allegra will have, where she brings her guests on, and then we'll be talking about the pinup and the photography, and just it's a really, really great and informative show. So if you find that this is something that you want to connect with, you want to tune in on the regular, be sure to subscribe. There is an Unmuted playlist on the Prospera TV Network YouTube channel, so you can always catch every episode as it's released. But follow it, follow Allegra, support her, comment if there's something that you want to see her bring to the screen. Share topics, ask questions, right? I mean, you're open to
Yes.
hearing all of that. Um, so yeah,
Yes.
so I would just say, where would you like people to reach you if they're catching this and they're like, hey, I just want to shoot a message out to tell her she did a great job, or when is the next episode, or anything? If they have questions, what's the best place for them to find you?
I would love to hear from you guys. It actually gives me joy to know that you actually listened and that you're here. So you can reach me on Facebook. That's the best place that you could reach me. Not underneath my business name, but my personal Facebook. And you will see it. I'll drop the link, below. But Facebook is always the best place to reach me. And I would love to hear from you guys. If there's something that you would like for me to talk about, as Elena said, um, those people that get us, they are so powerful because we can't do this life alone. So if you're out there and you really want me to talk about a topic that you feel needs attention, that you would like for more people to become aware of, please let me know. I am so open to suggestions. I cannot wait to help you get your voice out there, your message out there, and help you become unmuted.
I love that. And that's a wrap, folks. Be sure to tune in next week for the very first official episode of Unmuted, where we're diving into the world of pinup photography, the cherry collection, and why these sessions have become so much more than just beautiful pictures. Right? So tune in, message Allegra, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Amore, fuego en machete.